So I just stood there. I was stunned. I really didn't expect him to just slam the door in my face like that. So what do? I just jammed my finger on the doorbell, right? I just let it ring and ring and ring. But yeah, disappointed. He didn't come back. Breaking through the metal gate and the wooden door, it wouldn't be hard, but it would definitely cause a scene. And yeah, I could call the cops, but let's be real. Even if Zhang was just killing cats in there, it's not exactly a major crime. So I just lingered a bit, gave the bell two more hard presses, waited, and nothing. Finally, I left. Zhang looked about 60, not ancient. Still, something about him, it just gave me the creeps. A really weird feeling I couldn't quite pin down. It was like he was too old to still be kicking around in this world. And why I felt that way, I had no clue. The image of him, though, waving those blood-stained hands, his face all pale and panicked, it just stuck with me. It made me think of, those creepy, mystical weirdos from old stories, the kind who could do these unexplainable dark magic kind of things. Those types are hard to come by in a big city nowadays, but when I was a kid, oh man, I heard all sorts of tales about them. They were called living immortals. The legends were always so specific. Some big shot official would summon them, and the guy would pull off these totally wild tricks, like sitting in one city, eyes closed, and poof, teleporting to another city to buy something, and then back in a flash. They called it five elements escape or five ghosts transport, just some kind of mystical mumbo jumbo. Sure, those stories were, nonsense, but I couldn't say why Zhang made me think of all that stuff. That night, I actually had nightmares about it. The next morning, I woke up early, just too wired to go back to sleep. I just kept thinking about Zhang and what the hell he was up to. Finally, I went back to his building. You know those long corridor high-rises? They're just as grim in daylight as they are at night. I was just about to ring his bell when I heard a door creak open, so I ducked behind the stairwell. Perfect timing. There was Zhang stepping out. He paused, slapped this huge padlock on the gate, and yanked it to make sure it was secure. And tucked under his arm was a small wooden box. It was black, inlaid with mother of pearl, really old looking. He just shuffled into the elevator. I stayed quiet. I know, sneaking into someone's place isn't exactly noble, but my curiosity was just intense, burning. It took me maybe a minute to pop the padlock, and then another minute to unlock the two door locks. I slipped into Zhang's apartment. Inside, it was a really cramped space. A table, a few chairs, and this fancy-looking chest by the window. That chest, it had to be the one Jimmy mentioned, the one Zhang was so paranoid about. I turned back, closed the doors behind me, and snapped the padlock shut so Zhang wouldn't know anyone had been here. So I was facing the door, finishing up, when I felt it, something lunging at me from behind. I've got sharp instincts. The second I sensed it, I spun around. But whatever it was moved so fast. As I turned, I saw it wasn't a person, just a big, dark blur. It came at me too quick to even make out. Instinctively, I just threw a punch. My fist connected with something soft and furry, and this hiss, it was its claws raking my sleeve, just tearing a chunk of fabric as it went tumbling away. That's when I realized, incredulously, it was a cat, a huge black cat. If those claws had hit my hand, I'd be bleeding bad. I nearly got mauled. So I took a deep breath, yanked off my jacket, ready. The cat landed on the table, its back arched, tail up, fur bristling, and its green eyes locked at me with this creepy intensity. I swear I have never seen a cat like this. It wasn't just big and jet black. Its whole vibe was just uneasy. The way it moved, the awful sound it made, that evil glint in those green eyes, it sent a shiver right down my spine. So there we were, locked in a standoff. Human versus cat. 2 or 3 minutes just dragged by. This was getting awkward. I'd plans to be in and out in like 5 minutes, but now? No way. To get out, I'd have to turn my back to unlock the door, and I just knew that cat would pounce. Being held hostage by a cat was almost laughable. I had to deal with it. Slowly, I took a step forward. Its fur bristled even higher. I mean, it was just a cat, but those evil eyes sent this chill through me like I was facing a tiger. I lunged forward, taking 2 quick steps. I knew it would come for me. And sure enough, the cat sprang, claws out, teeth bared. Its white claws just gleamed against its black fur. I'd already grabbed a chair. As it launched at me, I swung this metal folding chair with all my strength. That hit was no joke. The cat slammed into the wall before crashing to the floor. It landed, back arched, and darted into the bedroom through a half-open door. I'd expected it to bolt, no surprise there. But what happened next? Confused, that was freaky. As the cat shot through the gap, the door just slammed shut, a heavy wooden door. I froze. I was just stunned. That bang was heavy, like someone had shoved the door hard. Could a cat, even one that big, have that kind of strength? My mind was just reeling. I set the chair down and moved to the chest. It wasn't locked. I lifted the lid, and I froze again. Inside was something I had never seen before. A hexagonal tray, maybe 2 feet across, made of what looked like ancient bronze. One half was just studded with these tiny dark nails, packed really tight. The other half was empty, just etched with all these crisscrossing lines. Baffling. What the hell was this thing? As I reached to pick it up, I heard a key in the lock. Panicked setting. Zhang was back. I slammed the chest shut. I wanted to duck into the bedroom, but that cat was in there. So instead, I slipped into the kitchen, hiding behind the door. I barely made it. He walked straight past the kitchen, still clutching that small box under his arm. I peeked out as he reached the chest, opened it, and placed the small box inside. Then he turned. I ducked back, heart pounding. I heard him call out. His voice was strange. No one else was in the apartment. He was talking to the cat, imitating Zhang soothingly. "What's wrong? What's got you so worked up?" And the cat answered with a series of weird guttural noises, almost like a response. Imitating Zhang, "Don't worry, we can move again. Ugh, this time probably out to the countryside. Don't rush, we've waited this long. It's almost done. A few more years and we'll succeed. Just a few more years. Be patient." His voice was so earnest, like he was comforting a child. I stood there, frozen, realizing he was talking to that old black cat. It was just too much. Imitating Zhang, "Such a shame we've got to move again, this time out to the countryside. Sound good?" Even in daylight, the vibe was just unbearable. I took a step forward, ready to reveal myself, but just then, Zhang bolted towards the kitchen. The space was tiny, there was no place to hide. He rushed in, clutching that black cat, and we came face to face. His pale, panicked expression locked with mine, and that cat's demonic eyes just glared at me. I darted out. Zhang chased after me. Imitating Zhang, snapping, "What's the deal, sneaking into my place?" I kind of forced a smile. Nervously, "Mr. Zhang, sorry, I'm just a really curious guy, and, well, you've been acting so bizarre, it's off the charts. I had to check it out." Imitating Zhang, "What right do you have to poke into my business?" Coolly, "I don't have any right, but you seem like you're in some kind of trouble. I could help you." Imitating Zhang, "I don't need help, especially not from a nosy busybody. Get out." It was humiliating. I just raised my hands. "All right, I'm going, but I'm telling you, I'm not done. I'll figure out what you're up to. And that chest of yours, I've seen what's inside, and I'm gonna find out what it is." I yanked the door open. And then Zhang suddenly shouted, imitating Zhang, "Wait, what did you see?" Calmly, a hexagonal tray half covered in nails. He just stared at me, his expression completely torn. For a second, I thought he might actually let me stay, but after a tense, half minute, he just sighed, imitating Zhang, "Kid, this has nothing to do with you. Don't you have better things to do? Just go." Smirking, "Mr. Zhang, my better things are figuring out weird stuff like this." Imitating Zhang, "I don't need help. If you don't leave, I'll call the cops and have you arrested for breaking in."
with a small laugh. "Fine, I'm out, but I'm sure you're tangled up in something serious. Here's my card. If you ever need me, call." He didn't take it, so I just set it on the floor, opened the gate, and walked out. At the elevator, I glanced back. Zhang was standing there behind the gate, holding my card. The cat was crouched at his feet. He looked at the card, then at me, his face just caught between wanting to say something and holding back. I knew that card had planted a seed. I mean, I've spent years chasing and writing about inexplicable stuff. People in Zhang's shoes, they tend to know that. From his expression, I could tell I wasn't wrong. I gave him one last look as the elevator arrived. Then I stepped inside.